Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Monique, and I'm on a financial health journey to create an inheritance for the generations to come. And I want to do that through consistency and discipline. Today, I am here to do I wouldn't really call it a monthly reset, but it's me setting out on a calendar view the bills for February and going through the process of documenting everything out, especially anything that is a little different for this month that I typically don't see, as well as what my actions might be or tasks might be around this particular budget calendar. So a couple of videos ago, I talked through the fact that I needed to start to merge my life planner and my budget planner together because there's some things that I have going on that typically I would not really be concerned with, because from a budgeting perspective, I usually have some cushion in my account or some extra buffer in there or some monies that just would be available. So I did not necessarily have to stress or worry. And I'm not stressed now. But what I do realize is that, and as you guys already know, I've had some changes as far as my income is concerned. That means my budget is a little bit tighter. That doesn't mean I can't still accomplish everything that I want to do, have all of the experiences and the events that I had already planned. It just means that I need to plan better because I do not have that cushion available any longer. And so one of the things in particular that we talked about that I just did not even write here is the fact that from the 17th through the 19th, I'm supposed to go and do a family visit. So let me write that down here on this corner, just so that I have it. Again, that was the whole reason in doing this, and I forgot it just that fast. Okay. All right, so I have that written in. So I'm just thinking through it, and what I decided to do, I could have done all of this in my iPad mini. So as you guys know, I am a digital planner for both budget and for my life. And I've been doing this in here. I started to do it in here, and then I realized I was moving back and forth between a couple of different calendars, and it was fine for me in there, but I said, you know what, I should be recording this. Everything is pretty much content when it comes to budget. I should be recording that, but I think it would be very difficult to follow if I was trying to split screen and show two different calendars and talk through it all. So I decided to pull from my bullet journal days. I was a paper planner for a long time. I have washi tapes and stickers and all kinds of things that I've not used, but I didn't want to let go. So I decided I was going to pull from that, use that, and just write out what a calendar view would look like. So I went to Dollar Tree, story time. Went to Dollar Tree, went to Dollar General, and a couple of little cheap places. I did not try Family Dollar, but I went to a couple of cheap places just to look for a calendar. You know, the calendars they used to make, 12-month calendars. You stick a tack in it, stick it on your wall, you'd have it. Well, those things are not available any longer. Maybe it's because it's almost February, or maybe because people don't use that calendar as much because we are more in a digital age or a digital era now. So I don't know if that's why, but I could not find any. But I did find at the Dollar Tree 6 of these mini poster boards, 6 of them for $1. Well, $1.25. And then I got a couple of markers that were not Sharpies, and I won't do that again because there was a lot of bleeding and other things as well. There is a reason why Sharpie has the name brand that it does and why you pay the money for a Sharpie. So I know I will do that going forward. Anyway, I just went to my bullet journal days. I used to draw out calendars then. So I drew one out for February. That's what you see here. I went ahead, and to save time, because I don't really edit my videos, so I don't do any speeding up and slowing down and, coming in close and all those types of things necessarily. So I wanted to save some time so you guys would not sit here and watch me for an hour try to document all of these things out. So I created the calendar. I dated it Sunday through Saturday start. Yes, I am a Sunday starter. I went ahead and marked out my paydays. So I get paid on the 9th and I get paid on the 23rd. And then I used some washi tape to document where my paycheck periods the dates that it covers, and then I wrote in the bills that I have and the amounts that I have associated with those. So that was all pre-work that I did. Now, what you'll notice is that I get paid on the 9th. So there's from the 1st through the 8th on this February calendar. So all of that money is documented with red washi because that is covered under the paycheck that I received on 1/26. And that's what you see down here in the corner. And I think I have everything. Let me see if I can adjust stuff just a little bit. There you go. Let's see if that works. There you go. So you can see that. So I am, even though this is a February calendar, I am going to track what I got paid on January the 26th because it does impact some days in February at the beginning. What I got paid on or expect to get paid on February the 9th. And then what I expect to get paid on February the 23rd. And that's what you have documented here. These amounts include, the January 26th includes rollover. So I saved a little bit of money for my mortgage that was due on the 1st of February. I save it in January for that. So that's why this amount is a little bit higher, because I already covered, I had $360 I put aside. So when you add that to the $1,175, that's how you come up with the $1,535. So typically there's $1,175 that I put towards bills in my bills account. And so that's what we're working with in this. This does not include any variable expenses. It doesn't include any money for savings challenges or any money for sinking funds. This is strictly bills. So I would just say, if you are trying to figure out where to get started, this might be a good place. Take a paper and a piece of pen, draw out a calendar, document the days, document when you get paid, and then in some way you could use a highlighter or a marker, or you can use washi tape the way that I did. This washi tape came from the Dollar Tree as well. It was a 3-pack for $1.25. But you can mark off with washi tape all of the days that are covered under that particular paycheck. And then you write in all of your bills that you have. So that's what I did here. Then I went through my planner, my life planner, and all of the things that I've notated and documented around mail that has come in, emails that I have received, etc. So I have all of that documented here. I went through that and I documented here some things that you notice down here in the corner that say urgent. And I don't know how well you can read that, but I'll just talk through it really quick. So the first thing I have is lawn treatment. So my lawn guy, Chan, came at the beginning of January, did a lawn treatment, and he usually does it every 7 weeks. So you'll notice that there is a like an exclamation point sticker here, and I coordinated it here on the 14th. So if I look at the calendar correctly, I should anticipate having another lawn treatment that's due on the 14th. So I need to make sure I'm planning for that. So I'm going to write that in here. And this is what I mean. It's not a typical bill that falls into this calendar, but it is something that will impact February, but it may not impact every month. So I'm just trying to make sure I keep that in my purview. So I have the lawn treatment there. Luckily, I've started, and this idea I got from Sita's budgeting journey, I think is her name. I know it's Sita, where she actually started a sinking fund for lawn care. So I did that, and I have saved up the $55 that I would need to cover the lawn treatment that he may do on this day. So with that said, you won't see that calculated here as far as my bills is concerned, because I've already saved up for it. So I won't put the amount listed there, but it is $55. I've already got that saved up. Second thing I found was that I got a notice from my car insurance company, and I am going to see an increase in my car insurance beginning the 21st. And that's why you see the little car there. So I bought a CX-30 and I moved to a CX-30, which is a newer model than the Kia Soul that I had before. When I transitioned the insurance, I did not see a pay increase or an amount increase at all. But now my year is up, so it's time for my yearly review. My insurance has gone up another $300 and some change for the year, which calculates, I think, into somewhere between $15 and $20 probably every paycheck, that I should see that change. Now, you won't notice that car insurance is included here at all for my bills, nor do you see it on my budget with me's that I do. You just see, you see car insurance listed, but you just see a dash there. And that's because the car insurance is an auto deduction from my paycheck, because I get a discount by having them take it out of my check before I even get it. So I don't have that amount necessarily that I disclose as a part of my bills, nor do you see it factored in here, but it will impact my check, because I'm not sure now whether or not there'll still be $11.75 going into the bills buffer or my bills account or not. I have to, that's one of the things, you guys, I don't know if you see that up here, but I have here reminders or tasks that I need to do. Where it is, there it is. Reminders or tasks. So one of the things I need to do is check how I have my my payroll allocated. So I think what I do is I do a set amount into one account, and then I have 3 accounts. So I do a set amount into one, into another, and then anything remaining falls into another account. So I need to check that to be sure. And if that's the case, I might be fine if I've got everything set at $11.75, and I think I do. So I'm just saying that that is a reminder of something I need to check. If I check and I feel like this might be impacted, the amount that goes into my bills account might be impacted, then some of this gets impacted, right? How I pay or cover my bills. I think I'm okay, but I did write myself a note just to make sure that I am checking on that. And then the other thing you'll notice, I have trash listed here on the 15th, and I have trash, but I have a question mark. So I have not gotten a bill yet. It's towards the end of January. I haven't gotten a bill, and usually the trash company would have given me the bill in January for me to pay in February, and then it would cover a 3-month period. So I may be off in this. So I wrote it in as a bill, but I did put this little green star or dot next to it, because it's possible it may not be due in February. It may be due in March, because I would have expected to get a bill by now, and I haven't. And then the other thing that I just referenced is a family visit. So I have, and I know I've got some stickers. Yes, I have some stickers here, and I'm just gonna find one to put. And I'm not taking, oh, here you go. It's a suitcase, but well, it's a briefcase, but I'm gonna put a suitcase here. So on the 17th is when I'm supposed to go out of town and see my brother, take my mom to see my brother and the auntie's babies. And so I'll mark that here. So I need to make sure, and I've already got a plan in place for this one. I need to make sure that I have some money allocated additionally for dining or spending, and for gas as well. And you guys, if you've seen any of my previous video, then you know I am starting to roll over variable expense money that's left over. I'm starting to roll it over and keep it as cash in my wallet. And let me write this other reminder that I talked about. Look for trash bill. Look up trash bill. So those are the 2 things that I need to take care of. All right, so as I mentioned before, I get paid on the 9th, and I know we did this calendar for February overall, but I'm not going to worry about the bills that are highlighted with the washi tape in red, because all of those have been accounted for in the budget with me that I did for January the 26th. I wrote them in here, all of the different bills that are covered in the month of February from that check. I'm sorry, in the month of January from the check. And then here are the additional ones in February that have to be covered as well. So the way that I handle my budget is, once I write in everything, once I figure out where all of the bills are as far as my paycheck is concerned, then I do a recap. I here list what I feel like my budgeted amounts are going to be for my bills, and then I go in and see whether or not all of these add up and track to those amounts, and that way I can make some decisions about how I'm going to pay my bills at that point. In a lot of cases, I end up covering bills in a paycheck that might not be associated with the paycheck period, but it makes better sense for my budget. And I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so we talked about all the urgent things, all of the things I needed to add into the calendar that I typically don't have to worry about. And out of that, I came up with my tasks that now are things I need to check. So I have those documented out. Now we're going to look at adding all of these numbers together and see where we end up. All right, so I'm going to stick this over here on the side. So for my January 26th paycheck, I had $1,535 that I wanted to budget towards bills. Let's see where we ended up. 15 tithes. You'll never see me see that documented here because I don't share that amount. That amount is between me and Jesus. But it's already factored out of this $1,175. Car insurance is already factored out of this $1,175. Pet insurance is already factored out of this $1,175. So there you go. All right, so that's 15, 12, 102 for Gas South, 5 Apple Care, 44 for insurance, 116 electric, 715 mortgage, and 10 for ring, plus 82 for student loan, 6 for a bank fee. I am going to put a question mark by that because I think you guys know that my bank fee, they may not be charging that anymore. I'm just not sure. I'm going to keep it on the calendar for right now though. And 12 for Paramount equals, all right, $1,119. So $1,119. So I had $1,535 that I wanted to budget towards this. It looks like I'm spending $1,119, which is good. That gives me a little bit of fluff in there, right? All right, next, let's move to the bills that I have documented that's supposed to cover from February the 9th when I get paid up through February the 22nd. All right, Verizon is $165. Ally is $30. Discover $150. AT&T is $90. Apple Care is $5. We're going to skip lawn treatment because that's sinking funds. Water is $25. Trash, we'll go ahead and add it in. And then if it's not supposed to be there, the money will still be in the account. So $54 plus Green Sky, $90. Kohl's, $90. Bridgecrest, $503. And equals. So that is $1,202. So right away, you notice that how much I'm already expected to cover, and this is if everything comes in the way that it is. I'm expected to cover $1,202 worth of bills, and I've only got $1,175 that I allocated. Luckily, though, I have extra over here. So here's where I might make a decision, and I did. In the January 26th budget with me that I've already recorded, and it's loaded up for you to see, I went ahead and covered the cost of Ally and Discover. The reason why I did that is I had $1,535 available, and 1119 was what I had expected to pay. So at $416. What I did not want to do is spend that money, put it in savings, put it in some sinking funds without trying to pay attention to my whole calendar. So that's where all of this started, where I said, you know what, I need to get a broader view because that's a good bit of money, but I have a feeling I may need it later, and I did. I am always middle month heavy. So you'll notice here, right in the middle, I've got $150 for Discover, Ally, Green Sky, Kohl's, Bridgecrest. All of my major bills are covered under here. I usually pay Discover $200. I usually pay them $200, but I marked it down to $150 because, again, I was concerned about the amount of cost that's here. So what I decided to do was I decided to pay Discover and Ally as a part of this 126 paycheck. And I am going to then have some buffer built in here because this will go down by roughly $180. So that's good. Because of that, in February, I may be able to make an additional payment to Discover as well. We shall see. That reminded me, and I don't have it written down in my family planner or anything else, I don't know why I thought about that, but on the 10th, I have a brunch that I'm already scheduled to do with my vision board table buddies. And so again, that's additional funds that I might end up having to spend in this pay period from the week of from the 9th through the 22nd. So I am going to have a brunch, and I need to write myself or give myself another sticker for that. And the reason why I'm doing that as well is because that may be money. Let's do a treat yourself on that one. There you go. I'm going to use that sticker. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna put that there on the 10th that I have that. And that's my brunch that I'm gonna have. So again, that's gonna be money that I need to spend in this time period, and I need to create a little bit more of a buffer there. So that all makes me feel good about January the 26th, going ahead and covering Ally and Discover as a part of that. Since I had so much fluff in here, I went ahead and took care of those bills there. That's given me a little bit of extra room here since I was going to be over a budget as far as what I'm bringing in and what needed to come out. And when you consider that I've got the 10th in there for the brunch, and I'm going out of town on the 17th, from the 17th to the 19th, that's going to be additional funds as well that I'm going to need to have in this pay period to make sure that I can cover everything. Again, it isn't about not doing things. So it's not that I'm going to cancel my date here on the 10th, and it's not that I'm going to cancel my trip. It's just adjusting my money so that I'm making it work smarter so that I can still have all of the experiences that I want to experience. Okay. All right. So there you go for that. So those are the adjustments that I made between the January 26th check and this February 9th check to account for these extra things that I have going on. Next, let's see what we have for the February 23rd check. So I've got to check payroll, remember, to see when I'm going to see this car insurance change. I don't know if it's, that's another thing. So I'm going to check the payroll to see how money is allocated for this, but I also need to see, are they going to take that out? Let's write that in. Car insurance. Are they going to take it out, the new amount out on the 2/9 or 2/23? So I need to call or email my HR department and see when they're going to do it so that I'll know how my money needs to potentially adjust. So that's another task. I had to think through that. All right, there you go. All right, so let's see what we've got going on for the 23rd. So I've got the check, the 23rd, 2 plus 12 plus 102 plus 5. All right, so the check that I'm going to get on February the 23rd, it is going to cover OneDrive, Apple Music, Gas South, and Apple Care, right? But you'll notice this green keeps on going through February, the end of February, and it actually goes through to March the 7th. So what I did was I wrote in all of the bills just like I did up here. I wrote in all of the bills this March 23rd check still needs to cover because this paycheck goes from the 23rd through March the 7th. So that means I still need to cover electric in this bill, the February electric, the February home insurance, the March electric, the March home insurance, the March mortgage, the March ring, plus the Nelnet payment, bank fee, and Paramount for March as well, because all of those happen before I get paid again on February the 8th. So we've got OneDrive, Apple Music, Gas South, and Apple Care together is $121. Now let's add electric. Do I know for sure that my electric bill is going to be $125? No, but I do need to budget some amount just to make sure that I overall can factor it in. And I typically go higher. So I've seen my bill around $106, $115, somewhere up in there during the winter months. And so I try to factor in a little bit extra just in case. So I'm going to factor $125 for electric. These other bills are fixed as far as the amounts are concerned. 10. Nelnet is 82. Bank fee 6, although we might not have to pay that. And then Paramount. All right, so I have $1,115. I want to do that one more time just to be sure. OneDrive, 12, Apple Music, Gas South, Apple Care, electric. $82, 6, and 12. Yeah. All right. $1,115. All right. And I'm expecting to have about $1,175. Again, I'm covered. So I'm covered on January the 26th, and I'm covered on February the 23rd. It was just right here in the middle, which is typically what's going to happen because that's my heavy period, is where I'm a little bit over. But I've made adjustments to my Discover and to my Ally, covering those in January the 26th. That gives me a little bit more cushion or room on the February the 9th check when I need it, because that's when I'm going out of town, and that's when I have a brunch that I need to be that I planned on attending. Lawn treatment taken care of. It's happening in February, not in every month, so I needed to make sure I documented that down. Car insurance is going up. I need to make sure that I check my payroll allocations. I need to make sure of which check it's going to start in, is if it's the February the 9th or the February the 23rd as well. And then for trash, I have it documented here that I need to pay for it, but I need to look up that trash bill to see when it's due. Even if it's not due, you know, as a matter of fact, even if it's not due, I probably just need to leave that money in the account and just have it as a rollover. So this is my first step, and I may do this for every month. I don't know if this helps anybody out or not, but it definitely helps me because I know my regular bills, but I also need to document it here, life things that are happening that I need to make sure I'm accounting for, because again, those are the things that tend to trip you up. It's not where you fall, it's where you trip that you need to be concerned with. And so this is my way of holding myself accountable. I will use this to build my February 9th and my February 23rd paychecks. And after, when I do my February 23rd paycheck, I'm going to go ahead and do this again for March. Okay, I think that is it. Thanks everybody for liking or commenting on my videos, and especially those that have decided to subscribe to my channel. I truly started this as a way to hold myself accountable, but I do understand, recognize, and appreciate the community overall. You know, we all have similar goals. We just got different ways of getting there. So if you're rocking with me on this journey, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys have a good one.